I'm 2 months into completely rebuilding my business from scratch. Today's video, I'm so excited to be discussing because this just solidifies that I'm on the right track. I took a leap of faith at 43 to move back home so I can rebuild my business and build my forever business that doesn't require me to be showing up every single day 24/7. So yesterday's video, I talked about the 7 streams of income that I'm going to be focusing on in 2026. I broke down every stream. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how much money I've made so far in 2026 in January and February with these 7 streams of income. So if you haven't watched yesterday's video, I'm going to go ahead and pin it above. But if you did, let's go ahead and jump in. So here's exactly what I made so far. Every dollar, every source, no fluff. I'm going to be sharing exactly what I did so you can go ahead and implement it yourself in your business if you would like. So in January started off a little bit rocky. I'm not going to lie. I had so much anxiety. I knew that this was going to be my financial year. My word for the year was freedom, financial freedom. I really want to start to build wealth this year. I want to pay off all my debt, and I really want to start investing and saving for retirement. So I knew this year was going to be a big stressor for me. So in January, I kind of started off a little bit rocky. I was still building out my content strategy, but looking back, I'm still proud of the income that I was able to pull in January. So let's start with the income stream digital products. In January, I was able to make $319.24. So these were digital products with my KTP course. I believe a few people were on payment plans, and then any other digital product sales that came in that month. Now let's look at market research. So market research, I mentioned in yesterday's video that I make money giving my advice when it comes to social media and content creation. I was able to pull in a good $240 just giving my own advice. And I love doing market research. I actually really doubled down this month, and I won't be sharing that until April. However, this is definitely becoming a lucrative stream of income for me. So let's jump into affiliate marketing. Now, this was a great surprise because honestly, like I said, affiliate marketing, I have my links in my bio. I just kind of leave them there. I don't necessarily check it all the time. And so when I went to see if I made anything, I saw $150 just sitting there. And I was like, oh my gosh, I did not even know. And so this was in particularly me sharing Stanley, which is my AI. So I am going to be transparent. I make $100 every time someone signs up for Stanley. So I was able to make $150. I believe I make $50 if someone completes their trial. I forget exactly how that works, but I was able to make $149. All right, so the last income stream for January was actually Facebook monetization. I only made $15.56. Now, I believe I mentioned in yesterday's video that in October 2025, on Halloween, my Facebook account was hacked. Luckily, I got it back in November 2025, but what happened was Facebook ended up demonetizing me. Now, not from the front end. I actually was still making money. I can see my account making money, but the hackers removed my payout. So my account was no longer connected to my payout. I believe they tried to connect it to theirs, and I was not making money October, November, December, and January. Finally, February, I believe a day after Valentine's Day, I finally got my monetization back and my payouts connected. So there was a good 4 or 5 months where I wasn't paid. Still working that out with Facebook right now. However, I'm super excited that my monetization is back and I'm making money. Usually I would say I make anywhere between $250 and $500, just depending on how many videos I post per day. So if I have the bandwidth to post 7, I'm going to make more. If I post between 3 to 4 videos, probably going to make around the $250 range. So again, I was only making $15.56. However, that money was coming from stars and subscriptions. So I was still connected for payout with stars and subscriptions, just not content monetization. Okay, so that is my January income. It was a rocky start, like I mentioned. I was still trying to figure things out. However, total, I made $723.80. Now, I know some people might think like that might be low. Honestly, I was jumping for joy because, like I said, this year I'm really focusing on 7 streams of income and consistently bringing in as much income as I can in each of those streams. Now, I believe March and April are going to be the months where all 7 streams are going to really start picking up. But again, just starting out in January, I was super proud of myself that I was able to maintain some sort of consistency at the start of the year. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into February. Now, February was a lot different than January. You are going to notice an increase in income, and I believe it's because I started to really hone into my goals. The 3rd week of February, I started to actually make income goals. I did not do this in January because I felt very overwhelmed. However, I found a group on Threads where women were going to hold each other accountable for their income goals for the year, and I decided to join the group. Some of the ladies were focusing more on rejections. How many rejections can they get in a year? That pushes them for outreach. They're reaching out to more people in order to get more rejections. And that eventually will lead to deals, right? However, I looked at it differently. Because I was already getting a lot of brands reaching out, I wasn't closing a lot of those brands. I realized that I was going cold on a lot of those brands, or I was getting ghosted. So I asked myself, how can I turn these brand collaborations that are reaching out to me and actually closing them? So my goal became, let's close at least 90% of the deals that come to you. So the 3rd week of February, I started to hone into income goals. I would tell myself, okay, you need to land 2 brand deals this week. And what would happen was I landed 4. Then the next week, you need to land 2. Then I would land 3. And so here are my income goals for February. So the first one, brand collaborations, income stream, I was able to close $1,910 in brand collaborations, okay? However, I did refund a brand some money because it wasn't a great fit. And I already created the content. I was getting ready to post and I just did my due diligence one last time. And I saw a few bad reviews and it just didn't resonate with me. I'm really about integrity and I really want my community to trust me when I'm promoting a product or service. So I decided to refund that brand. And I felt good about it. And to be honest, the next day I ended up landing one of the biggest deals that I've ever closed. So it was amazing. So with that being said, 1910 is what I made in closed deals. However, I signed contracts and I closed other deals that just haven't been paid yet. So the 1,910 money in the accounts. However, the others are slowly rolling in. I've been paid this week for some of those deals, and I believe next week would be the final week where those deals would be closing in. So in the pending payments, contracts already signed, I was able to close $5,900. So in total, I made over $7,000 in brand collaborations in February. Isn't that a huge jump? That's insane, right? And that was all based on consistency. Now, some of you guys may be asking yourselves, okay, Dupay, which platforms? Let me tell you. I close YouTube brand collaborations for long form, so dedicated videos as well as integrated videos. I'm wrapping up some of those videos this week. I landed a LinkedIn collaboration. I've also landed some Instagram collaboration as well. So I would say the biggest deal that I landed was a multi-platform deal, which was 3 platforms. So let's go ahead and move on to the next stream. So in February, another stream of income that I made was affiliate marketing. I am going to just break it down real quick. I made a total of $50.30 in affiliate marketing, and this came from my affiliates with LTK. So I'm on the platform LTK as well as Stan. So I share my Stan Store link, and when people sign up for Stan Store, I get a kickback in commission every month. All right, so moving on to the next income stream is Facebook monetization. Again, I just told you for January, my Facebook monetization was still disconnected. So I wasn't able to be paid the amount of money I usually get paid for Facebook. So I only made $11.22, which I believe was stars and subscription. However, this upcoming month, I'm finally going to be able to get paid my normal content monetization because everything is connected. All right, so moving on to coaching, consulting, and mentorship. So I was able to close $338.67. I believe a client signed up for just a quick 30-minute call, and that was an incredible client that I've worked with for the past few years, and she's amazing. And so she just came back, and that's why it's important to hold community, because I realized a lot of my clients, they keep coming back when they need a quick refresher call with me. All right, so let's move on to the next income stream, which is digital products. I was able to make $81.54. Again, this is the income stream that I want to be probably one of the highest right now, but I'm okay because I'm realizing that some of my other income streams are really pulling the weight. And at the end of the day, like I said, this is why it was important for me to have 7 streams of income and not rely on one, because that's where disappointment comes in. That's where stress, that's where anxiety and, frustration, and you even giving up on your dreams too soon because you're putting all your eggs in one basket. Spreading things out and allowing income to come from multiple sources has really given me the ability to create content full time with ease without that added pressure. So digital products is my main bay. This is where I want my income stream to be the highest. However, I'm happy that brand collaborations and soon to be my mystery stream is going to be pulling the majority of the way, which is great because it gives me the opportunity to slowly build everything else out. All right, so the next stream of income in February was market research. I made $105, which was, again, great. These were research that came last minute, and I was happy to participate. And to be honest, like I said, this funds a lot of my gadgets. Like when I make extra money, I end up buying, my mic. I end up buying, extra things that I need for filming or for my business. So it's just one of those extra streams of income that I use to purchase things in my business that I may need. All right, so month 2 total income that I brought in for February was $8,396.73. So as you can see, that was a huge jump from February. March is going to be even greater, I hope, and it's just going to keep snowballing and increasing as time goes on because I'm super, super, super focused on really building wealth this year and just digging myself out of the hole that I feel like I've created over the past year and a half because I decided to pivot in my business. All right, so I really hope today's video resonated with you. Again, I wanted to share this video to be transparent. I see a lot of creators right now, they are making an astronomical amount of money online, selling digital products, doing mentoring, working with brands. And sometimes we only see people's highlight reels. We only see the point where they're actually, successful. And we don't see the build. We don't see the climb. We don't see the messy middle. And I'm here to really share with you my journey and just be as open as possible. Feel free to ask me questions, because I realize the creators that I resonate with most are the ones who share everything. They don't share just the fluff. They share their transparency of how much money they're making, where they're making it, what they're doing to making it. And that really helps people grow. So I hope that this resonates with one of you in order to help you grow in your business. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Dupe Alaru, and this was your Daily Dose with Dupe. You may find yourself in the messy middle right now, trying to build passive income, trying to build your online business, or trying to build income streams so that you can create financial freedom. If that is you and you find yourself over the age of 30, 40, 50, and you're looking to start YouTube full-time, document your journey, or even just get into this ecosystem of entrepreneurship online, I definitely hope that my channel is a place where you can learn, you can get started, you can grow, you can build, because that is my goal for all of you. Thank you so much for joining. Again, put your questions below. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. And if you really like videos like this, let me know, because I would love to create more. And I'm still learning, y'all. I'm still growing. I'm still trying to figure this thing out. So we're in this together. All right, y'all. I'll see you tomorrow for another one. Have a beautiful and blessed day.